You decided to disappoint your parents and become a professional creator. Okay, so now you're an artist. You'll be creating full-time, following your dreams, pursuing your passions, and dancing with joy at the wonders of what you've created. Everyone will love you, and your parents will be f***ing miserable. Welcome to the world of being a professional creator. It's the only job you could have where people will ask you, how do you make a living at that? They're not asking you because they want to learn the ropes. They will ask you because they don't believe that being a creative can actually pay the bills. Well, guess what? It's the 21st century and it definitely can. The message I want to share with you in this video is that being a professional creator is a real career that's highly rewarding. And it can be centered around things that bring you true joy and happiness. It's not just about making your parents happy. It's about doing what you love. At the same time, it's also incredibly important to have a solid plan for income and make sure that you're working your creative business just like you would any other successful business. Otherwise, it could be very difficult to stay afloat financially in a hyper-competitive market. So how competitive is the professional creator market? Well, let's look at some numbers. There's an estimated 2 million professional creators and 46.7 million amateur creators out there. This is all part of what's called the creator economy. It's become the fastest growing type of small business. Kids today are 3 times more likely to be a YouTube star than an astronaut. Sorry, Neil Armstrong. The definition of creator economy, also called the passion economy, is the class of businesses centered around independent content creators, curators, and community builders. These people include all sorts of professional creators around the globe that are pursuing their passions, including social media influencers, bloggers, vloggers, plus the creators of all the software and finance tools designed to help with growth and monetization. Today's technology is giving us the tools to create in the digital world that Steve saw way ahead of his time that most people didn't. That's why he created products that were specifically non-techy. I'm of course referring to Steve Jobs, you know, the guy that invented the MacBook Pro and the iPhone, which is how creators have jobs. Never mind, it's a joke. He took the risk to break industry norms in order to normalize creatives and creativity. He wanted Apple products to be associated with creative genius so that the creators that do exist, the crazy ones, the artists, could have an easier time getting access to it. You know, as technology has made it easier than ever for anyone to become a creator, it's allowed creative companies to make tools that make it much easier for creatives to go pro. For example, Adobe Creative Cloud allows for collaboration without borders and allows for people to work remotely. Free design tools like Canva allow anyone to become a designer. Adobe Photoshop makes it easy to do professional graphics on the fly. Logic, FL Studios, and Ableton make it simple to create and produce professional music. Slack allows remote teams of creatives to stick together and to communicate. Project management software such as Asana or Trello allows global teams to set deadlines and to stay on track. The digital world started with just binary code. First, it was all just zeros and ones. Now it's platforms that make it super easy for people to create and do things online in order to connect virtually. And the fact that everyone now has a device that gives a window to your imagination means that we can collectively create the world of our dreams. Okay, so here's how it happened. At the dawn of the 21st century, platforms were created that made all this possible. Google, YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Spotify, and LinkedIn all made it possible to monetize your creative efforts. This introduced what are now known as influencers. This trend only became popular because everyday creators had a way to showcase their work online, get buzz for their work that before would have required a record deal, a book publishing deal, or a contract with a TV network. Then platforms began to find ways to monetize influencer reach so that they could target bigger subsections of the market, piggybacking off of top creators. This allowed them to prioritize top creators and leverage them for their own financial gain, like Joe Rogan on Spotify. Once this trend caught on, then everyone wanted to become an influencer and get paid for creating content. This was the birth of the business of a creator, which is really just a different style of a media company. This personal media company concept snowballed from there and turned into what we have today, where influencers are getting free product, and being paid for sponsored posts to promote on their social media channels. Today, every personal brand must function like a media company in order to stay relevant and be ahead of the curve. The big trend that we see is that over time, creators are becoming more diversified in their revenue streams and are being funded directly by their fans. This is direct-to-consumer sales at its absolute finest. Pioneers like Walt Disney started with just one man and his personal brand. Today, the Walt Disney Company is a direct extension of that, but it encompasses so much more. Creators are turning into demigods, and the power of printing money on demand is in their hands. Oh, a demigod is a person who is godlike. Hey, there's no secret that I'm Indian. And so I would love to tie this into Indian religious traditions, not because I'm religious, but because these traditions from my heritage are similar to media channels in that they both emphasize fantastic and often very vivid storytelling. In the Indian religions, there are gods like Shiva, who has 7 arms, and Ganesha, who is a boy with an elephant head who can help people remove obstacles from their lives. But these stories were constructed from people's imaginations and written into holy books to communicate an idea or a symbolic message. It's just like Mr. Beast, the mega popular YouTuber. He isn't an actual beast like Ganesha. Instead, he's a digital god. 1,000 years from now, people are gonna think Mr. Beast was an actual beast, not a guy named Jimmy Donaldson who leveraged the power of the internet and YouTube to create this brand and promote this mythologized character of himself. Mr. Beast is proof that anyone can turn themselves into something larger than life. You know, if you can create a compelling backstory and create a brand around it, you can have a career as a professional creator. In fact, you can even influence the next wave of young creators. You can monetize anything that you're passionate about. There are so many young people today who aren't any smarter or more skilled than you are who are proving that this is possible. You know, eliminate any disbelief because yes, you can live a life where you're doing things that you're passionate about, and yes, you can get paid an amazing salary for doing so. This is all a symptom of not only the creator economy, but what's known as the experience economy. For creators, there are few better examples of the experience economy than the man himself. Mickey Mouse's right hand, Walt Disney. Disney created an experience with his theme parks so that when you go to Disneyland and you see all the characters and meet them, it makes you believe that they're real. In today's world, all these creators that you see on YouTube are turning themselves into characters in order to monetize their brands with real life experiences. Think of David Dobrik with his cologne. Mr. Beast launched Mr. Beast Burger. It's all about brandability as a character by creating tangible experiences that people can have beyond the screen. You know, the digital world is really just a collection of everyone's imagination working together. It's what you could call a collective experience. Your job as a creator is to improve upon that collective experience by facilitating community, education, inspiration, entertainment, and helping people to foster authentic connections. See, when you're creating an online experience, you want people to forget that they're online. So if you create your product or service in an authentic way, people will actually connect to you. One piece of advice that I have to overcome the fear of doubt that goes hand in hand with a creative lifestyle is to think of yourself as a pro. Now, a pro is an acronym that stands for persistent, resourceful, and optimistic. One of the many brilliant things I learned from my coach, Roy Camerano. Being a creator is challenging, and there really aren't any excuses in the sense that most successful creators that you see today were average Joes before they were successful. The only difference is that they were persistent, resourceful, and optimistic. I've personally helped professional creators earn millions by helping them produce, market, and distribute high-quality content at a large scale so that they can focus on their craft, their skills, and doing the things that they love. I handle all the work that goes on into the back end in collaboration with my company, The Limitless Company. Producing content with creators is what we love, and it's why I started the company. As the digital maestro, I help take the creator's content, develop a system for commerce, and blend it into a great audience experience that feels like a concert. It's a formula I call the 3 C's: content and commerce in concert. But more on that in a future video. So make sure you click the like and subscribe button and ring that bell so that you're notified when that video comes out. For now, just know that the money is there for you to be a pro despite what your parents say. There are all sorts of money in things such as advertising revenue, sponsored content, product placement, tipping, paid subscriptions, digital content sales, merchandise, shoutouts, live and virtual events, VIP meetups, fan clubs, licensing deals, and so much more. But it's not just about the money. Personally, I know how tough it can be to choose which projects that you want to spend your time on, because the reality is, time is worth more than money. As a creator, I choose projects based on the following 3 criteria. It has to meet at least 2 of the 3 for me to at least entertain the idea as a project. Number 1, I have to learn something. Number 2, I have to have fun. And number 3, I have to make money. When you find something that you could do all 3 with, go head first. Remember that this path is not easy, and that's why it has to be something that you enjoy, because you will go through a moment of despair, which your true love for what you're doing is the only thing that will get you through it. Love the doing, love the process. The outcome, the result, is the byproduct.